What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Forgive me if you see me looking away, by the way. It's a little easier. I got my laptop sitting here to kind of keep up with all the stuff going on. So, what's everybody into? It's been a while since I've done a live stream, and I want to apologize to you guys for that. Uh, it's just life and videos and work and a whole lot more work, and it seems like all I do is work. uh, what's up, Brian W? What's up, Miondo? I'm sorry, man. I'm not going to butcher your name, and I apologize. Levi, what's going on? Joe, what's up, Noop 2010? Yeah, all's good. Too much working, not enough fishing. I think I'm just going to close this. I'm just reading them on here anyway. So, what's up, Ryan? What's up, Carolina? You went fishing today? Not me. I was at work, slaving away at my computer geek job, pushing buttons. Just tired of being there. What's going on, Doug? Peyton? What's going on? Jeremy? Brandon? What's up, King? Josh King, by the way. What's going on, Joseph? Terry, man? Got some good picks from you. Rodney Workman, the man. The man. Now, guys, y'all want to know a stick. Rodney Workman, you got questions, just skip me, go to him, ask Rod about the offshore stuff. He is the man. And I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. I know he's going to call BS on me, but he knows it's true. What's up, Richard? Bass Munitions out there. What's going on, Isaac? John? Rick? Y'all can see I'm just kind of chilling out and relaxing. This is all informal. You know, I appreciate that, Brian. You know, I don't want to get into YouTube politics and stuff like that, but what's going on, Tony? But what's going on, Jim? But I swear, man, it does seem like, I don't know if it's my age. I don't know if it's that I sound like a trucker. I don't know. My daughter's friends always told me I was scary, but I think I'm a nice guy. So, it seems like I don't seem to get contacted from other YouTubers, that are around my size. A lot. I will say this though. One of there is a couple out there. One of them being my boy Tackle Junkie. He really has been a good friend of mine. Lou from Beyond Bounds. I can't not give him a shout out too. He's been a good one. Those guys are fishing guys. They're not out there, making some crazy videos. Nothing wrong with that, man. A lot of good channels out there that do it. What's up, LA Yakin? Joseph Keller. Hey, listen. I tell people all the time, I'm a computer guy, but I want everybody to understand. I grew up as blue collar as it gets, man. I mean, my dad was a truck driver. Come from a coal mining background. I have worked hay, worked tobacco. I mean, I bought my school clothes from the time I was 12 years old. I worked summer jobs. I remember in the 5th grade in a foot of snow helping my dad work on his truck. It was an international, and I had to stay out of school to help him work on that tractor and trailer to get it back on the road. So I mean that's where I come from, You know, it's what I know. Anybody heard that FLW Pro got? Yeah, I seen I don't know exactly who that was, but I did see that. Keith the Trucker. What's up, brother? I'd be hitting you up every week, too. That's right, it did build this country. Still builds this country. What's up, Jason? Hey, man, I appreciate that. I don't care what anybody else says. Listen, I tell people all the time, man, I'm already too old to give two you know what's about what other people say. Hey, man, you know, as the channel gets older, you know, that's one thing I can say. I've been lucky. I don't get a lot of trolls, you know, and I don't know if it's where I, you know, you guys know I comment on, I reply to every single comment, every single comment. And I think a lot of people maybe see that, so maybe a lot of trolls see that, and you know. But I did get this one the other day, and it was like, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was like, "Oh, you don't look or sound like no geek. I think your tips are BS and blah blah blah." So I said, I put on there, I said, "Listen, man," I said, "first off, I'll outfish you with my tips. Then I'll tear your arm off and beat you with it. And then I'll download all the porn off your computer and share it with everybody you love." Anyway, so I thought that was a funny little troll stopping troll. Yeah, I don't get a lot, man. I don't at all. I'm lucky. I can say that's one thing, man. You know, we're up to 22,000, and like I say, guys, you know, I appreciate the heck out of you. But you know, it was that's because of you guys. It ain't because of me. I always say it, and I really do mean this. You know, there's the only thing special about me is that you guys come and watch and participate in the videos. And you know, I had a guy he was either today or yesterday that was like, you know, I didn't have anybody to teach me how to fish growing up. And you know, my dad, he was over the road all the time, and you know, he didn't really fish, and I didn't have anybody, you know, to take me fishing and teach me fishing when I was young. You know, so everything that I know now, it's just all, you know, it's just all stuff that I'm learning, you know, that I've learned and that I'm still learning. That's the reason why I love this sport so much. You know, it doesn't matter. Dude, that's awesome, Brian. Thanks. I love the Mega. I tell you, have you guys heard that 360 or that that Humminbird is now coming out with a 360 Mega? I cannot wait for that. Yeah, the jig video has 400. It's got that many 444K. That's insane. That's insane. I knew it just hit 400, but yeah, that thing. You know what's funniest about that video is that I put that video out and literally it never started really gaining. I think it had like 800 views, and a year later, it blew up. Well, and you know, man, that's Terry. That's one thing that I love. I mean, you know, I know y'all hear me talk about, and I know you guys know I'm partnered with, you know, Mystery Tackle Box. But that's the one thing about fishing that I love. You know, don't get stale, because if you get stale, you know what happens when something gets stale? It gets boring and you quit. And you know, if you put as much time and money as a lot of us do into it, you know, no matter what, don't let yourself get bored with it. You know, there's always ways to do and learn different techniques and different things. You know, I'll never know everything about fishing. Those little, you know, SOB green and brown fish with their tiny little brains will always be smarter than me. And that's sad to say, but I will be the first to admit it. Compared to a bass, I'm a D8. I'll just keep it PA. How's that? Oh, sold the boat and the tackle. That makes me sad. I've quit 2 times over the year. Well, sometimes, stuff like life does happen. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, that paddle tail deep, and he finished third in a 300 boat tournament. Wow, that's awesome. That's actually one thing you guys have seen a little bit this year. What little bit of fishing I've actually got to share with you is that what is a good 5-inch jig? Oh, wait. 5-inch jig head and plastic shad combo. If you're talking about like a swim bait combo, Brian, I got to go with Bass Munitions. Their Patriot Shad. I was involved in helping get that kind of out there. A lot of the colors. So make sure you go to bassmunitions.com. Me and Richard talked about a lot of stuff and what we wanted to do with it. And, I need to do an unboxing. I got a ton of stuff. Well, that's awesome, man. Especially Milliken. Listen, I like Milliken. Some of the stuff he does is kind of weird. And I watch the Googans. I subscribe to Milliken, all the Googans. But, to say that you learn more in tactical bassing, they're probably my go-to guys. Thank you. That's an honor. LA Yakin, yeah, trust me. I was just out the other day. Here's the bad thing about YouTube is, I want to make sure I get content out to you guys all the time. But sometimes, especially because I'm still working like crazy. I'm still putting in, 70-hour weeks right now. And so the one day a week, most time I get to go out fishing, I've got to make a decision. So I'm not getting to fish the lakes that I want to go. And by the way, we're going to talk about fishing and stop talking about me because I hate talking about me. Who's seen the 100, Segway, the 100 best lakes yet? I want to ask some questions to you all about this. But, as a YouTuber, and I don't mean to bellyache, man, I hate it. If you'll learn one thing, listen, I come from a super poor background, and one of the things that I learned is don't make excuses. Don't, and I hate it when people tell me when they can't. I always say this, and I've told my wife this. She probably like to shove this down my throat and beat me over the head with it. Probably write it on a 2x4 and beat me over the skull with it. But 20 foot of water, three quarters. That's my go-to. I actually got a video that's coming out about that Wednesday. It should have been out Sunday, but I went fishing on Sunday. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm saying. I only got to fish for like 4 hours, and the lake I got to fish is like a super tough lake. If you ever hear me talk about Top Secret Lake P, anybody that lives around me, they know if you go up there and you can put 5 bass in a boat, you've had a great day. That lake is tough. The one you see me fish a lot of times during the summer, that lake is crazy tough. So here's a question. I love ledge fishing. Listen, I love fishing out deep. I grew up fishing deep water. What's going on, Bass Rookie? Went to P on Friday night, caught 4. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Shane. You know as well as I do, most people fish that lake at night. I'll tell you what, night videos just do not translate real well. And I'll be honest with you. You want an Achilles heel? What is going on? Hey, guys, realistic. Listen, this guy, I'm going to tell you, I really like this guy. I like his videos. And I like the fact that me and him can have discussions, whether it be on my channel or his channel. And sometimes, we've got into, I won't say heated discussions. We keep it cool. But we can disagree, but we can talk about things. And I've got a lot of respect for him. He does things his way. I like that. And, he knows I'm kind of the same way. I don't apologize for what I do. So I do things the way I want to do it. And that's just who I am. It'll always be who I am. I do consider making more I'll tell you what, Brian, is the worst thing about where I live is I live really in the mountains of Southwest Virginia. And I know some of the guys that are from around here. I live right on the border between Tennessee and Virginia. And you know, some of the there's not really, you have to dam a holler up. You know, I'm letting my hillbilly out there, but you got to dam a holler up. What's up, hook 'em in the mouth? I love his stuff, man. And that guy is down there. You want to talk about somebody down in the FL, down in Florida, that's catching toads. You know, what's up, Twin Cities? But I mean, there's just not a lot of ponds around here. A lot of what I've been thinking about doing as far as bank fishing is going to be like streams and creeks and that sort of stuff. So I think that's what I'm leaning toward. But anyway, so how many people have seen the 100 Best Lakes this year, the Bassmaster Edition? Oh man, yeah, the Mississippi has been flooded. I'd say almost all year, all that runoff from everywhere else. What is going on, Tackle Freaks? What is up? Big shout out to Tackle Freaks. Hey guys, I will say this, if you want to help the channel out, always look in the links when I talk about things. I try to put anything that I'm using or any sort of baits, I always try to put links to that. And that does help me out. Well, Togga's out here. Cherokee made the list. That's interesting. I didn't see that part yet. I did see where Watts Bar made it. So, Cherokee made that. I've got mixed emotions on that one. So, how many of you guys live? Let's say, what do we say? Within an hour of one of the top 100 lakes. Top 100 lakes. Because I'm jealous of you guys. I'm going to tell you that right now. Yeah, I'm dying to get down to Cherokee, but it's like I said, that's the only bad thing about what's going on with work right now. Yeah, I know, Tackle Freaks. I know where you live. I'd like to be out there on that lake. They're out there on Kentucky Lake. That lake is made for what I like to do, deep ledge fishing. Gosh almighty. That lake is just, I'd go out there and I'd probably just buy a camper and I just live in a van down by the river. or more Kentucky Lake, really. Yeah, just outside Knoxville. Man, a lot of good lakes. A lot of good lakes. A lot of good pro anglers come from around the Knoxville area, too. You just got such a diverse fishery in that area. You know, Watts Bar, you're not far from Douglas, Norris. You got the Highlands Lakes, you know, to the east of you. You got your Tennessee River style lakes, you know, kind of to the west and southwest. And then you can get down to Sam Rayburn. Gosh, man, Randy Crabtree. You don't know how lucky. I'm going to tell you, come up here and fish with me. Yeah, you know, realistic, man, I've almost decided, because I hate for you to come up here, and it can be so hit or miss up here. Like Douglas is good this year, but it's been bad in years past. You know, my little top secret Lake P, it can be hit or miss. But I'd like to come down there and fish because I know right where you're at, and I like to come down there and fish those lakes. Norris, Loudon, Watts, yeah. I like Norris. I like Douglas. If I had my way right now, I'd be fishing Douglas 90% of the time. And I know Cherokee made it, but I'm gonna tell you right now, Cherokee can't hold a light to Douglas. Cherokee made it because there's been 2 stops and they caught all them rinky-dink smallmouth down there that they caught in this last one. BassGeek on tour. Maybe one day. You never know what might happen. Jordan, that's a good one. I'll tell you, my buddy Joey, man, down in South Carolina, well, he lives around a lot of good lakes down there. Lake Fork, hour and 30. Douglas is literally an hour, almost 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes. Kerr, Kerr ain't that close to me. Smith Mountain made it. And that Smith Mountain is I think 4 to 5 hours. Chick is, I think it's 5 hours from where I'm at. Gosh almighty, yeah, Thousand Islands. My buddy Tim and his son just went up there. That place is nuts. Yeah, I know Douglas is on fire. I know. Every Casper. You know you ain't making me feel no better, Bass and Pastor, right? You know this, right? You're just hurting. You're hurting my feelings right now. Oh yeah, Chick. It's 5 hours from me. Gosh, Terry, can I live with you? Can I live with you? You're 45 minutes away from Chick. I mean, I'd just live with you. I'll just come down there and stay. Yeah, I'm out there. Yep, Tri-Cities. I'm actually on the Virginia side of the Tri-Cities. I'm actually close. I am 30 minutes into Virginia, a small town called Duffield. And so my two home lakes, what I would consider the big tournament, full on BFL, bigger tournament, is Cherokee and South Holston. And I'm telling y'all my secrets. Top secret Lake S. I just gave it away. But South Holston, which is 45 minutes, and Cherokee I can be at 2 in 45 minutes. And I actually fished Cherokee for years and years and years. And I'm just sick of seeing Cherokee. It is a good lake. In my opinion, it was better probably 10, 12 years ago. What's up, Mike? Delete this. Yeah, it's not going to be posted. You won't be able to go back and look at it afterwards. I'm giving away my secret lakes like nobody knows. Sorry, I know I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking. Unfortunately, the messages are over here to the side. Yeah, I hate to hear about the carp issue. And Tackle Freaks, maybe chime in on that a little bit. I mean, how bad is it? You're out there. I know you don't want to hurt, the tourism and stuff. Gosh, man, Kentucky and Pickwick. I live nowhere near any. Well, Doug, listen, don't feel bad. In my opinion, I don't live nowhere near any of them, so. Your youngest son, Michael, wants me to shout him out. What's going on, Michael? What is going on? Has he got a YouTube channel or anything? Richard Jean. I don't know that I know who Richard Jean, if I'm saying that right. I don't know that I know that one. So you might want to. I might look him up. Strike King bullworm. Man, I love the bullworm. That is a good worm. Yeah, big shaky head. 5/16, 3/16. You're singing my song and dance right now. Hey, did you see the? I tell you what, I'm dying for somebody because it would be hard on like the Tennessee River, and I know there's a way to get away with it. You can actually put a hitchhiker up in there and put a little heavier weight on it, but that's so easily cast out. Do you know anyone that makes heavier? Let's talk about quarter, 3/8, heavier style. Either nail weights or some kind of Nico rig. I'm telling you, man, that right there. That Nico rig with that 8, 9, 10-inch bullworm. Yeah, I know. Not a lot of people talk about that, but that's been going on for a long time. I know. Yeah, man. It's YouTube. I gotta break the news somewhere. Everybody's always beating me to stuff, so I've gotta put it out there somewhere. Tackle Freaks. Yeah, the Z-Man. You're right. But now, Tackle Freaks, Z-Man, do they make the big worms though? That's kind of, I'll tell you what, guys, and I've got a theory, and I'm gonna ask you guys this. Now, tell me what you think about this when I tell you this. People look at me all the time. They're like, "Man, you fish super clear water," and I do. I grew up fishing super clear water, and the one thing about super clear water, Tight Lines Tri Cities Outdoors, or Twin Cities Outdoors. I live in the Tri Cities stuff, but oh man, I totally lost where I was going with that. Oh, clear water. So now I fish a lot. Like Top Secret Lake P hits 15-foot water clarity, and I mean it is 15-foot water clarity. I fish, Norris in some places can be, uh, can be, he can be up to 30 foot. Flanagan. I mean, I've seen that at 30-foot water visibility. So, but I like to fish bigger baits. And that's what got me into fishing, that's what got me into fishing the swim baits. So, what do you think? I know guys, and I see guys just dink-a-linking these little worms and all that stuff. Uh, every well, Tackle Freaks, you need to hook me up with that now. I'm telling you, I'm having to stick a nail weight, put a screw in to weight it down. Uh, but it to me it becomes showing the fish something different, and I think the way I fish clear water is kind of different than the way a lot of people do. I like to throw a bigger bait, but I like to throw a translucent, like my big Patriot minnow, my Ghost, which is a very translucent bait, and you know to me, I think, well, how many little worms have those bass seen coming down that bank, and you pick up that big, stake of a bait, that 5 inch, and you throw that at them. That's something that the five guys that's went down that bank in front of you. How many of those do you think they've seen over the years, over time? Sometimes it's best to you got to take those big baits and you got to kind of tweak them out. Now you won't see me a lot of times unless I'm fishing deep, throw in clear water, throw a big crankbait. But even where I fish at, and I tell people this before, I've actually thrown 10XDs on 8-pound test fluoro before to get them down. So, I mean, you got to make those change. Yeah, I'd love to go down there and fish Okeechobee. Ned rigs overrated? No, I don't think so. I mean, they're the new Cinco. I mean, they basically took a Cinco, cut it down, and stuck it on a jig head. I mean, it's more it's a finessier shaky head. So I don't think it's overrated. The Core Strike cranks, man. You know, oh gosh, I'm not impressed. I think the sink rate on them for the water I fish, if you're fishing, let's say 20 foot, um, I think it's all right. But what I've got out of mine so far, yeah, I know Richard will. It's like what's going on, Shoeless? It's like a foot a second, and if I'm fishing 25 feet, I mean I'm having to sit there for 30 seconds waiting for that thing to get to the bottom. And then the other bad thing is and I seen another guy who's sponsored about him talk about this. You have to, I don't remember if he said it was the heat or whatever, but you have to be super careful with them. Uh, you have to be super careful with them. It's either the heat or the cold or this or that, but it does something. I don't know what they put inside of them to weight them down, but it ends up messing it up, and they won't sink. So, hey, listen, a 7-inch Cinco. Hey, I'm going to tell you this, backyard bassing. Take a 7-inch Cinco, rig it wacky style on a on a swing head. I know you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I dare you. What's your take on the jackhammers, dude? I love the jackhammers. I mean, I know they're expensive, but they are a better built uh, mousetrap. Let's just say it that way. I always took nails. Yeah, you know, Daniel. I'll be honest with you. I was at the boat ramp, got a flat because of a nail. I'm just messing with you. And that's true. The only thing about the Ned rigs is kind of like the drop. It's kind of like the drop heads. You know, the Demiki style. You do want that eyelet being at that kind of 90-degree deal. Yeah, 16-inch worms, man. I mean, you can't go wrong with a big old jelly worm. Yeah, 7-inch Cinco. That is a big. You don't know how big if you've never actually had a 7-inch Cinco. The get your shot glasses out. I'm starting it. The girth on a 7-inch Cinco. Yeah, you just wouldn't believe it. Stupid. Sorry, Keith. Smart mouth punk. Not Graham. Somebody being an a-hole in here. Tell me. I'll kick them out. Bullworm on a Ned rig. And I don't know about all that. That's more like a mega shaky head curve. Yeah, I don't know. I've got a deal saying that. We just take shots. Unfortunately, I have no shots. So I got a shot of Coca-Cola. Yeah, yeah. Oh, if I only had one lure to fish with, what would it be? I'm telling you, it's a real hard call between a 5-inch swim bait and a jig, and I'm probably going to take a jig. And here's the only reason why: I can fish it from bottom to top. I can. This might be technically two, but I can put a swim bait trailer on it, and I can fish it a lot of different ways. Dude, I'd love to come fish the Gulf. All right, let's see. What about a magnet rig? Is a magnet rig not just a shaky head, though? I'm throwing that question out there. You know, Guggen baits, and I see you guys talking about this, and I get it. Uh, you know, I mean, hey, listen, bravo to the Guggens. They were smart enough to jump on it when they could jump on it. Uh, I mean, I wished I had a brain in my head to have started doing this 10 years ago. You know, I remember I was working my first computer job. Have you tried burrito baits? No, but I do like burritos. I've never even heard of burrito baits, tackle freaks. Enlighten me. And you know, the bandito bug, I'll tell you the same thing. Now, my buddy at Bass Munitions, Richard, has come out with a grunt. And if you guys don't know, I've been a huge fan of Strike King's Rage Bug. And his grunt is very much in the same likeness. And here's what I gather without actually having them, just seeing what the bandito bug, the biggest problem with the Strike King Rage Bug is the point that it comes to. And it tears so easily because there's just no meat in the point of that bait. So you really go through them. The bandito bug and the grunt, here's what I like about them. You got the same kind of action, very much the same design, but man, they have got, and this is going to be better than girth, a meaty head. Yes, the grunt is killer on a wobble head. Amazing, hard to come by silicone swim baits. Ooh, silicone swim baits. That is interesting, tackle freaks. The Mag Rig Ned falls slower than a shaky head. Yeah, and I know where you're getting at. Mikey Balls, who, by the way, I love Mikey Balls. His kind of mad neg. I get what you're going with there. Yeah, because it's more of a straight tail, a little less action. Not the thinner worm. It's again got a little more girth to it. It's a little more. But yeah, I get. Yeah, that I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I forgot about that. The trench hog on a swing. Yeah, I'm sure. What's going on, cod fishing? He's 5'6" in real life. I don't think he's really 5'6". Really, they sell the Bandito bug molds on Amazon now? Huh. The Gambler, yeah, they're legit. Of the fighting frog. I don't know about that. What is going on beyond bounds? Yeah, I'm thinking John B's taller than that. He's probably taller than me. I'm right at 6 foot. All right, guys, here's another question. What am I doing on the 4th? I'm working. And then I'm going to probably some fireworks with my wife and granddaughter. Hey, I don't know if my wife is going to see this, but guys, just so you all know, back in June, me and my wife celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary. We've been married since we were 3, just in case you want to know how old I am. Dang, man, what are you doing that for? Gosh almighty, don't do that, Keith. I thank you and I appreciate you, and you are the man, and you rock, but, don't do that. So here's my question to you. Here's a question that I think about a whole lot. What, and I'm going to give you some rundown, what to you actually makes, I'm having problems wording this out. What qualifies you to be, or qualifies you, what is the criteria you consider to consider someone a good angler? Now, I'm going to throw something in. Is it you can catch a lot of fish, you can catch big fish, you can find fish, and I'll tell you why I think about this. I know around where I live at, there's a lot of guys, I call them homers, especially in the BFLs that I fish. So you're always going to have these guys that they enter on this one lake because they fish it all the time, and they're going to do fairly well on this one lake. Bill Dance. Listen, Bill Dance is legit. I know the bloopers kind of made him sick, but he's legit. To me, I think someone that can be thrown out on any lake and be able to break it down fast and find and catch those fish quickly. To me, the guys that are fishing a single lake all the time and they live on that lake, they're fishing it all the time. Hey, you're good. I'm not going to tell you you're not good, but I do think it's more you're fishing holes then. I mean, I've got lakes that I grew up fishing, and I can pretty much set my watch by when a certain bite is going to happen and where it's going to happen at. Does that make me a good angler? Does that make me? Does that give me the ability to go out and catch fish anywhere? I don't think so. Brian Thrift is a, excuse my French, backyard bassman. He's a damn good angler. Brian Thrift is the man. You know, I met Brian Thrift at the first classic I went to down in South Carolina, and he was standing there, and nobody was standing around. There was no line for Brian Thrift. Brian Thrift has to be one of the hottest anglers out there right now as far as skill level, and nobody was talking to him. I was like, what in the world, dude? How do you not have a line a mile long? I agree, James. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, he's incredible. I agree. You got to go. To me, you got to go to different lakes. How many of you get bored fishing the same lake all the time? I get bored to death. It takes me, like, if I'm fishing Top Secret Lake S, like y'all don't know who that is, where that is now. I get so bored. Hey, listen, Scott Martin. I mean, you know, he's bred from a thoroughbred angler. He grew up on Okeechobee. The guy was probably catching fish at, like, 3 months old. I mean, he's got David Dudley is amazing. And I tell you what, you want to watch a good channel. There's not a lot of flash to it. Iaconelli's good. He's a trouble. But he is amazing. But David Dudley, man, he does a lot of how-tos and a lot of the on-the-water stuff that I like. 22,000 acres. Oh, believe me, man. 22,000 acres. Trust me, there's guys out there. They know every every hole that we don't. And a lot of times, Ott Defo, yeah, man, Ott. Listen, I got a lot of respect for Ott, and if y'all don't know, Ott is having some. He's gonna. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have surgery, but he's having some heart issues apparently. So you guys remember him in your prayers, and Ott's a good guy. He's I live a couple hours from Knoxville, but he's a good guy. It's popping. Hey, one of the funniest things I ever seen was early on, back before the whole YouTube thing, and I don't know if that's who you were talking about, but I seen Scott Martin fish on Roland Martin's show, and they were doing a competition, and I think this show kind of spurred the whole Scott Martin challenge thing, and Scott was on the boat and he was catching. He was whooping his dad, and he holds up a fish, and it was like a 3-pounder. And he comes up to the camera and he goes, "Look, I'm Roland Martin." He goes, "This is a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pounder." Because if you ever watch Roland fishing with Roland Martin, every time he talks, he gets so excited. He's like, "Oh, that's a 3-pounder. Oh, that's a 5-pounder." Every time he talks about it, it gets bigger. No, I've fished curl twice. Like I said, it's probably, gosh, it's a way away. It's at least 4, maybe, I'll say 3 to 4 hours. That does suck. But, I mean, look, man, you can't expect a whole lot out of, those rods. Yeah, I mean, for that price range. Yeah, they grow every time. That's how you know you're a true bass angler. Every time you tell the story about the fish you caught, it at least gains, a pound. So 3 years from now, it gains a little more. What else? There was something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. Guys, sorry that I have not been on here doing many live streams. You know, a lot of times during the evening when I want to do the live streams, it's kind of when I get to spend some time with my wife, and you know, so it's you know, it's kind of our time. Wait. Let's see, Scott Jesse. You may have covered this, but I got on the big fish cheater snagger. I have not seen that yet, so I haven't looked into that. But if you want to elaborate, feel free. What's going on, Cameron? I have not actually, Keith. I have not heard of that swim bait. That is how I got to 25 years. Oh, okay. I'm going to tell you my experience, and I'm going to tell you if you go back and you watch Tactical Bassin and you listen to what they're really saying, you know, always listen for what people really say. But if you listen, now we're talking about, you know, Bruce Simmons is talking about sound emitters. Now I've got a, oh my God, I just went brain dead. The stupid little, you know, oh, somebody help me out. I literally just went brain dead. The little speaker that puts out shad sound. Hydrowave. Thank you, Ryan. Jeez almighty. Forgive me. I've worked way too much. Let me get some caffeine in my brain. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I've not seen the electro wave, but here's my opinion. Now, some guys, and if Tackle Freaks are still on here, I'd like their input on this. I know when I've been on Douglas, and I know some people swear by it, but I'll tell you what has ended up happening to me a lot of times, especially ledge fishing. I find that it works, you know, like the Hydrowave. I get the best results maybe in the fall when they're really keying in on those shad. Or I'll tell you, well, but when I'm out there ledge fishing, you know, I want those fish to stay over on that ledge. I don't want them coming to the boat. But what happens to me a lot of times, and what I've noticed, is all of a sudden those bass start pulling off that spot, and I start seeing all these marks below the boat. And you know, I, for ledge fishing, for me, it just seems like it pulls them off of where I want them to be. So I've kind of stopped using it. Now I'm going to play with it a little more this year. I don't have a lot of experience with it. You know, I bought mine used because I just wasn't going to pay that much money for something that I wasn't really sure of. But now during the summer, or during the fall, when they're really chasing, it seems to get those. To me, it gets the shad excited. So if you're around shad, if you can get those shad excited, to me, that then gets the bass excited. Now, there's a little trick. I'm going to give away a trick. I have not told anybody this except Richard. And when I'm Damiki fishing, one of the keys about Damiki fishing is that you're fishing vertical. Wait, I got to read this from, because I know Tackle Freaks is going to know this. Realistic Man. Courtesy, thank you. I'll buy 40, bro. Pulls them, 50-50 pulls them and turns on the school. Great win on top water bite when they have shad pushed up. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. One of the things, and I don't know, one of the guys that I was actually telling this to told me that he thought that maybe they thought the boat was a school of shad moving over them. But one of the things when I'm Damiki rigging for those smallmouth out on Top Secret Lake is, one of the things that I noticed is that I could get over top of that school, and then I'd have my hydrowave on pause, and then as soon as I get over top of them, boy, if you hit that hydrowave and then you drop that little Damiki rig, because it's representing a dying shad, I mean, you'd see the lines just coming up. What's going on, Tackle Junkie? I gave you a shout out just a minute ago, by the way. And that was because I'm vertical fishing for them. So when I'm vertical fishing and you cut that hydrowave on, it seemed like those smallmouth really wanted to come up out of 50, 60 foot of water to investigate what that was, and then you go ahead and drop that little shad representation down, and they just couldn't stand it. So so that was something that I found that I really, that's a time of year when I'm really going to have that hydrowave on my boat, and I'm going to be putting it to use. But even with like Tactical Bass, and you guys know I'm a big fan of them, they did a thing where they were talking about the hydrowave, and they talk about that they use it during the fall, they use it when they're vertical fishing, and so it's to me it's like any tool in the fishing toolbox. Everything is a tool, and you have to use it the right way. Fall is a great time because they're really on the hunt. Yep, tackle freaks. Hey guys, I've got two videos coming out, talking about the ledge bait breakdown that I think you guys are going to be, and I've got video proof of this. Tell me, and again, I want to I'm shooting this back out to anybody that does a lot of ledge fishing out on, let's say a lake that doesn't get grass, like Chick and Watts Bar and a lot of your Tennessee rivers later in the year, really, even Guntersville, they get grass, so that changes everything. So, yeah, everything has a time and place. So here's a good question for you guys that fish, ledges that maybe you don't get the grass in the lake later in the year. Yeah, no lake. Hey, listen, there ain't a stitch of grass in most lakes around here. Which you already know. I'm sure you know Cherokee, Douglas, Norris, which I proved Brandon Card. I showed Brandon Card there's some grass on Norris. He didn't believe me, and he grew up fishing that lake. But so I got a video coming out, and you guys actually seen this video last year, and it's actually top water for ledges. So let me ask you guys if they do the same thing. Later in the year, like right before it gets to fall, and this is my theory. Tell me what you think about this, tackle freaks and anybody else that fish. So I've noticed over the past few years that right before they come to the banks and spread out, those ledge fish, as it starts to cool, they'll suspend up. So this will kind of happen in the spring when they first get out there. You'll pull up on a spot and you'll see all of them suspended. There'll be some shad flickering on top. Stop. Bars. What? But later in the year, especially right before fall, so late summer, and I showed you guys this in the video, I caught some really good fish that day, and they got run off by almost getting hit by lightning, which you couldn't see, but anyway. So, but what I've discovered is that, I'd be out fishing over 46 foot, but those bass would be right on that ledge in that 46 foot of water, or that 36 or that 25. They'd be suspended up around that 20 foot mark. Now, mind you, I'm fishing, clear water, 15 feet visibility. And I start throwing big topwater baits. Like, again, one of my favorites, if there's a little bit of chop in clear water. Now, if you got some dirtier water, make sure, again, I know that Tackle Freaks carries them, and that's the evergreen shower blows. Uh, but yeah, the Mag Dog. Now I was using the big one knocker spook, and it was transparent, but it was dead slick calm. And man, they were coming up out of 20 foot of water. I mean, I went over them. I even show them in that video on the graph. I went over them. They're suspended up, 46 foot. They're suspended up. Yeah, and it'll call them up, man. And people don't think you can ledge fish. Now, again, like me and Tackle Freak said earlier, there's a time and a place, and I think it's really right as the water maybe starts to cool off, or maybe the water isn't cooling off, but it's right before that fall feed. And my theory is, just because it turns fall, those bass don't start, they don't look at each other and go, oh God, guys, we better get to the bank right now. It's fall. We got to feed. I think they're going to start feeding out there where they are, and I think it's just the shad start to come up a little bit higher in the water column, and then I think the bass kind of follow suit by suspending up. You're going fishing for trout real soon. Listen, I like to eat some trout, some salmon. What's up, Jacob? From the Kendricks from the bass fishing world. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I'll definitely go check you out, brother. Now, Tackle Freaks, tell me if they do similar here. And get them, yeah. I've never ate caviar. They got that kind of money. Yeah, it is. I missed my. Thank you, Tackle Junkie. Guys, if you don't know, Beyond Bounds, Tackle Junkie, like I always say, anybody that's in here that's got a YouTube channel, man, go subscribe to each other. Go subscribe to the other guy's channel. If you haven't subscribed to mine, I don't know why you're here and how you know to be here, but, if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe to mine. But, guys, any last questions that you want to ask? I'm going to get off here. I've got to be up at about 5 o'clock in the morning and get back at it. I just wanted to say hey to you guys. I wanted to tell you guys, as I always do, I appreciate it. The channel is growing like crazy, and that's simply because of you all. I say it and I mean it, and I say it again. It is literally, there's nothing special about me. I'm a old fat redneck that just likes to go fishing, and the only thing special about me is the fact that you guys come hang out with me, and that's it. That's it. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing any of this. That's it. Donnie, what is up? Right there's somebody I'm going to go fishing with. I'm hoping soon. We're going to make some people mad, Donnie, because we're going to put it on video. Going to make them real mad. What rod company do I use, and what rod do you fish football head jig on? I'm a big Lew's guy, but now you'll notice in my videos, man, I fish anything. I love to try new stuff, and the jig rod that I'm using right now for my football head jigs, it's actually a local guy makes it. It is actually a Killer Bass Baits rod. If I'm throwing a football head jig, generally I'm throwing that out. What swim bait? Listen, guys, I don't know. That might not Ryan Hall. What swim bait? Okay, never mind. Sorry, Tackle Freaks. But generally, I'm a 3/4 ounce guy. When I'm throwing a football head jig, 99.9% of the time it's out deep. It's on ledges, and that means that it's going to be a heavier jig, so that 3/4, and it's going to be a heavier rod, so it's going to be a heavy. I like a 7.3 to a 7.6, and generally I'm going to throw that on anywhere from 17 to 20 pound test fluoro. Now again, you're going to upsize that if you're out somewhere like Kentucky Lake where Tackle Freaks is. Generally I'm going to throw, we might up at the 25 pound test, because they got the bigs out there. Got the bigs. if I miss something, guys, go ahead and ask again, because you know how I am. My mouth don't stop. Thanks, Rebot 1017. Appreciate you. Weedless. If I throw a no exposed. If I throw a bait or a swim bait weedless, generally it's going to have one of those big rod for 10XD. The rod I'm using for a 10 for my 10XDs right now is, believe it or not, and I got, as much as I like their rods, and what I really like about their rods is that they go on sale, buy one, get one every once in a while, is 6 gil. But I gotta give them a knock, man. I mean, they're real durable. They're almost all their rods are on the stiffer side, but I think they're made in Texas, which would explain a lot. But I'm throwing, I don't know the exact rod, but it's one of their big crankbait rods. It's like a 711. And thus far, the few times I've got to throw it, I like. But the ceramic, I don't know if it was chipped, if I did something, because I carry a lot of rods. But apparently in the tip, and I've got to fix it. I've actually got it sitting in my room right now. But the tip is shredding my line, so I've got to put a new tip on it. Which is a video I'll actually make for you guys. A quick tip. Haha, about putting tips on. How's that? Don't tell me what. I'll tell you something else I'm getting ready to try, and this is out to Tackle Junkie. I tried it once before. I really wanted to try this on Douglas, but Picasso makes some really heavy. Yeah, make sure you go out and follow Tackle Freaks on Facebook, YouTube. They do have some cool stuff coming. They're an awesome online tackle shop. And if you're out there, go ahead and tell them where they can come see you out by Kentucky Lake. And, if you throw me an offer to come to Kentucky Lake and go ledge fishing, Tackle Freaks, if I wasn't working 70 and 75 hours a week, I'd definitely be out there. Unfortunately right now, and I'm getting ready to build a house. So I'm tearing this house down, and hopefully next month we're going to start on that. So that'll probably be even more crap that's going to take me away from fishing. So, oh yeah, by the way, so me and Tackle Junkie, you still on here, Tackle Junkie? We've decided that we're going full-time YouTube. We're going to call ourselves the, what was it, Tackle Junkie? The Tackle Geeks? Is that what it was? The Tackle Geeks. That's what we're doing. We're going full-time. And if Beyond Bounds wants to jump in, we will be the Beyond Tackle Geeks. I am joking about this, please. Hey man, yeah, I used to game all the time, but at one point, Tackle Freaks, yeah, it is close. I used to game all the time. I love playing games. I coached football for 10 years, 13 years, something like that. Anyway, long time. And so, I used to love. I kind of stopped gaming. My core game was always NCAA. I mean, NCAA football. I mean, how can you not love college football? I'm gonna knock on Tackle Freaks. I mean, listen, I know you're out there in Kentucky, and I can understand why you guys wouldn't like college football. I'm sorry. Oh, I had to do it, man. I had to. Mortal Kombat. Listen, guys, I'm gonna tell you how old I am. Okay. I had a 13-inch black and white TV. I don't remember how old I was, but I had a 13-inch black and white TV. And I had, it was a Magnavox, and all it played was Pong. And to this day, I am ambidextrous. I can, when I played high school baseball. I could bat from either side. I can't throw from either side, but I can do a lot of things from either hand. And one of the reasons why is because I used to sit there and play Pong against myself with one controller in each hand. And I'd do it all night on a black and white, on a 35 or 13-inch black and white tube TV. How's that for I fart dust? That TV did weigh 53 pounds. Yes, it did. Yeah, I had the Atari. Burn. Oh, yeah, man, I'm old. I'm old. Hey, they ain't no just for men in this, though. 25 years of marriage to my wife, she kept me young. We won't expand on that, though. All right, guys, listen. You know I love every one of you. I appreciate all of you coming out. Yeah, LT 83. Yeah. Playing Pong in bars. Yeah. It is just a number, but I'm fat too, Tackle Junkie. That's what's getting me. I gotta lose some weight, bro. I'm telling you, I gotta lose some weight. It's got bad. Right here, right here. That's the devil, right there. That is the devil. I gotta get off that crap. But anyway, guys, you know I love you. Appreciate y'all coming out. Like I always say, man, make sure you go out. If you've got a channel, make sure you shout it out. Make sure you comment. Make sure y'all go subscribe to each other. Support each other. You know, make the fishing community great again. Bam! I just did that. Thanks, Levi, and thank all you guys. Like I say, man, you guys is what makes this absolutely worth it. I love doing these just one-on-one live streams with you all because y'all get to see kind of who I am. I don't know. When I'm out there fishing, I am so focused that I have got to start talking. Like even when people go fishing with me, you know, a lot of times I'm just so focused that I'm out there trying to figure it out. Because unfortunately, and I don't care what anybody says about Lake Cherokee, I don't live close to a top 100 lake. That's a farce. You don't count. It is a good lake, though. It is a good lake. It's getting better. The past few years, it's definitely on an upswing. So, not to hurt anybody's feelings. Guys, thank you. Keith, thank you. Realistic Man, thank you for the donations. That's me. I told somebody the other day, all I do is talk about fishing because I don't catch any giants. So, how many of you people think I should move to Texas into the me, Beyond Bounds, and Tackle Junkie will move into the Guggen Squad's house and go show you guys how to actually fish lakes in Texas. Oh my God. See how fat I am? I can't even get up. All right, guys, listen, I'm getting the heck off here. Y'all be good. Yeah, burn. Look, guys, I'm real brown, but it's because never mind. I've been swimming in my pool before I go to work. All right, I'm out of here, man. I'm getting delirious at this point. All right. Love you guys, man. You guys rock. I appreciate you so much. Peace out.